I'm a little bit sad that's the last time I'm going to cast with you for now, but I'm sure it's not the last time I'm going to cast with you in the future. So let's introduce our two players here. Spawning in the bottom left-hand side of Pillars of Gold, LE. It's our red Terran player from Alpha X, currently 3-0 in this tournament. It is Vindicta. 2-0, I think. Sorry.
Okay. Really, really solid player. And in the top right-hand corner, used to be Terran, but now he has switched to Protoss. It's going to be our blue Protoss. Don't know if he's still on route, but it is going to be Semper.
Wow. You know what, Tempo? I miscalled that completely. First of all, Semper officially not en route. And second of all, Vindicta is not 2-0 in this tournament. Correction. Vindicta is 0-2 in this tournament. I had him confused with Future for a minute there. Vindicta has not yet won a map in this tournament.
No.
0-2, 0-4 right now, Tempo. What on earth is that?
Okay, he has a pretty rough group, I'm not gonna lie, but Vindicta's really good, you know, and I've
played
seen like
Estrella and Future so far.
Yeah, well, that makes a lot of sense, right?
Yeah.
Those are some of the best players in NA right now, so it's not out of the realm of possibility that, yeah, the games probably went okay, but he has some tough competition, a lot of tough competition in this group.
Yeah, group number 2. You know, we talked a lot about how good Group A was earlier. But if we could take a minute just to name, I mean, Group B again. If you're talking about NA players, Future, Namshur, Estrella, Nina, Vindicta.
Yeah,
it's an all-star. These DreamHacks are all-star tournaments of all the most amazing. It's literally
the group of death. Like, if you're in NA, that is a group of death right there. And for someone like Vindicta, I would love if he were able to show a little bit more, you know, that what he's capable of, but you can't really fault him when it comes down to having a group like that, so.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a tough one. It's a tough one for him.
It really is. We got a Templar Archives coming down here, or Twilight Council, rather. Not quite Templar Archives yet. Twilight Council coming down here for Semper in the main base. And Vindicta just going for that Reaper expand and dropping that bunker at the front just to stay super safe here. Doesn't want to get caught by surprise by anything in game 1.
Yeah, and I think, you know, even though nothing's really going to be coming out from Semper, the Twilight gets me a little bit curious, and I'm wondering if he's going to be going into Blink for the third base, or if it's mainly for a aggressive play. But what I've noticed about Semper, at least when I casted him yesterday, he kind of chills, you know? He's more of a passive player. He kicks it, and he's like, okay.
Interesting you say that. He's going Blink, and normally when I see a player go Blink, I think aggression right off the bat, man.
Usually. But Blink is still really good in order to deal with, like, you know, early game Terran aggression.
Sure.
So the fact that he's not getting a Robo, I think you might be right. I think...
No, it is. It's going to be Robo. Yeah. Blink, I love Blink. Blink to me is a lot like... It reminds me of an Oracle where, like, it's good at the beginning of the game, and then it's good at the end of the game for totally different reasons. So as long as you get it early, like, you're going to be fine. And it's a good play for Semper.
It's safe. It's just
very safe. And it will be especially very good against Vindicta's Widow Mine drop that's coming down. He's got 1 Widow Mine out. He's going to go 2 Widow Mine drop. Yeah, he's going to uproot that second one and send out 2 Widow Mines. We got to see how good Semper's trigger finger is here, if he can get out of the way in time.
All right. Well, yep, there goes the third base out of Semper. So it is going to be for that defensive kind of play. I don't think we'll see much aggression out of Semper, but we might see some, I don't know, maybe like a poking and prodding, but... Yeah, I don't feel like he's going to all in. Like, a lot of the times you'll see Protoss blink into the main base of the Terran and, like, snipe Stim and then get out. But it's not like he's trying to kill him.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think you're absolutely correct. It's a good assessment. Well, let's see here. Third base isn't going to spot this flyby. He hasn't seen this drop coming in, and we got to see if... Oh, maybe he did see it with that pylon on the top side, because he's moving Stalkers down already. I think he might have spotted it.
Possibly.
He's got the Stalkers coming down. He should be just fine. And if he can snipe this drop without taking any damage, I think Semper's going to be in a really good spot. Look at the worker count right now. He's 10 workers ahead. Third base already almost finished up.
Yeah. And I mean, like, it's all about Semper, or rather Vindicta, to get something done here. He got the Raven. So I think usually when you see the Raven come out for the Terran player, it means that he might expect there to be like a Colossus or some kind of a power unit from Protoss. But we don't see that from Semper, right? It's mainly just Blink Stalker. He's getting charged. And there's really not a lot to actually Interference Matrix. But the Widow Mines go in. Oh, not going to get much done, though.
One down and a nice pull there from Vindicta, from Semper rather. He's been really diligent about protecting his units, and there's not a lot of map space here. Not a lot of dead airspace on Pillars of Gold LE behind that second and third. So I think that's something that maybe Vindicta hadn't expected. I know this is a new-ish map. It's been out for about 3 weeks now. 3-4 weeks now, give or take. But yeah, the space between the second and the third, there's not enough space actually to hide your medevac in there like there is in some other maps. So the medevac has actually eaten a bit of damage there from the Stalkers of Semper. I don't know if that's a map awareness thing or if he just wasn't paying too much attention. Either way, not the end of the world. And the Stalkers from Semper now making their way across the map.
Yeah, and I mean, these are like just the poking and prodding Stalkers that I was talking about. If you look in the background here, he's getting +1 armor, so he's going to be focusing more on charge lots. So I think these Stalkers will be the only ones that he makes for the game. And then he's going to go and transition into, say, Immortals and Charge Lots here. So, yeah.
Absolutely correct. We see Charge just finishing up here. Oh, hang on. Oh, sorry, production hiccup. But I think we're good to go. Yep, I think we're good to go. Sorry about that. Anyway, Stalkers coming into third base, but they're going to get caught there by Vindicta. Vindicta's going to drive him out.
Yep, and at the end of the day, it's the 3-base Protoss. Semper took his third incredibly early, so Vindicta needs to make something happen, because if Semper sits back here, he's going to just get ahead so much more economically. And now we see Vindicta moving out on the map. The tank is going to get caught. He needs that tank, and he picks it up with the medevac. Beautifully done here. But you know what, dude, the Raven, I think is going to be used. Oh no, he's going to get caught! Oh no!
Oh my gosh, his armor shredding this is going down on as many of his own Marines as it did. A huge Widow Mine shot, taking a lot of Stalkers, though. That will get taken down, and that's going to slow Semper down more than anything else. But these charge lots chasing down a lot of these Marines and Marauders. Oh man, Vindicta is in a world of trouble. Low on army supply, low on workers. He's got to reinforce quickly.
He does, and yeah, Semper will pull, or at least push him back all the way to his base. But it doesn't matter if he pushes anymore, right? There's a lot of Zealots here, but he has 3 bases. That's, like, at the end of the day, he's mining more. Look at that. Look at that resources income advantage.
Yeah.
Semper does not need to do anything here, and I feel like Vindicta, he was supposed to get something done there, but he just couldn't.
Got caught halfway across the map trying to chase down those Stalkers and just diving a little bit too greedily, like he's a Silver League of Legends player under a tower, just trying to get those last couple units out
like a tempo
and getting smacked down. And so that was even though the Widow Mine did a decent job on some of the Stalkers, it still wasn't a good trade. And now we see Vindicta used to have the army supply lead, and now, actually a bit of a missed, botched attack from Semper. He's going to be pushed back, but he is going to get some Zealots into the natural mineral line. 6, 7, 8 SCVs going to go down. Worth it.
Yeah, nice Widow Mine shot on that War Prism. Gonna take it out, but there's still 2 Zealots here inside of the main base, and I don't feel like Vindicta is going to be able to really capitalize on that mid-game aggression that he was probably expecting to do.
These Zealots in the main are still alive. They're still alive.
Yeah. Yep, this is disgusting. Wow, 15. Oh, gosh. Oh, my God. Not like this.
Okay. Jeez. And this is really fascinating from Semper. We talked a little bit about this in one of our previous games, but what do you do as a Protoss player when you get this far ahead, when you know that you've killed off? How many workers have you killed now? 17 workers he's killed off.
Yep. But 16 of them just happened like literally minutes or seconds ago. So that's a full minimum line here, Creighton. It's one of those things where it shouldn't have been that effective, but it was. And now Vindicta, he needs to do something big. The Widow Mines were not really effective. Double Robo coming up here from Semper.
Double Robo's gorgeous. A Disruptor and Immortal at the same time. I love it then, because you don't have to decide then if you want your Immortal count to get lower or if you want to gamble on those Disruptors. He's going to lose 1 Immortal here. The third base under duress, but his Zealot's doing a nice job cleaning out 7 more SCVs. The worker count now crazy in favor of Semper. Vindicta's got to win with a push sooner rather than later tempo, or he's going to be in a lot of trouble.
Time is not on his side at all, and you can kind of tell the desperation. But Semper, he's very calm with it. Great upgrades, going to be able to get Disruptors out. And it doesn't seem like Vindicta is going to be able to really do much here. Oh, the Disruptor kills 4 Widow Mines!
What a shot. That's exactly
Oh my god.
That was the only thing
awesome.
holding Semper back was those Widow Mines. Really, he was the fear of them. Ghosts are now out for Vindicta, which is great, but look at his third base. More Zealots coming in to snipe down these SCVs, getting the mules. The SCVs pulled the deal with these Zealots, but yikes. Yikes and a half.
Yeah, this is literally like the best situation as a Protoss player. Pulls Vindicta all the way back, and yeah, the Ghosts are out, I guess. It's cool and all. And he's starting to get that upgrade also for the range of the MP. I forget what it's called, though.
Advanced Shockwaves.
Yeah, Advanced Shockwaves coming out, but we don't have Templar out. Not even Colossi, so it's a very old school style where you focus more on upgrades here as the Protoss. But it's different.
Yeah,
a little different because he added disruptors, and it's not Blink Stalker Disruptor. It's like Charge Lot Immortal, like light, but disruptor. Like I'm trying to think, especially like where he's trying to go from here, but it works. It's working.
It's working, and I think that's all that matters. It does feel, aside from the disruptors, it does feel like a very old school build where you stay on those gateway units for a long time and you just try and pump them up. His upgrades, of course, not great. He's got +2 armor for some reason, but he's just now working on +1 and +3 armor. So a bit of a strange choice on the upgrades.
Yeah, so they die. So like, or so that they don't die.
It's for the
usually will favor. Yeah, you will favor armor if you're gonna go Zealot heavy, and then attack usually if you go Stalker heavy.
Okay.
And yeah, it seems like it's working out for him. And look at that, man! Extended Thermal Lance coming out here with the double Robo production. There's no Vikings on the map here. It's gonna be Liberators coming out, but I don't even see any like rather Fusion Core for the Liberator range. So.
Nope. He's getting one armory down to maybe upgrade him a little bit, but it's just not going to be enough. He's only got one starport right now, if you look at the map for Vindicta, which is really rough for him. Man, tries to snipe that Warp Prism. He's trying so hard to snipe that Warp Prism. Oh my gosh. But he's only got one starport.
The third resource in StarCraft 2 Creighton. Attention.
Oh, he sneaks into the corner. Nicely done. But yeah, this Colossus transition is going to catch him completely by surprise. He hasn't seen it yet. He hasn't seen a single Colossus on the map. He's got very few Ghosts. He's got no Vikings. And he's going to have a lot of trouble against Colossus, especially with Extended Thermal Lance finishing up. 2 Colossi on the map now. I expect to see 2 more from Semper. I wouldn't be surprised if he just did a full transition into 4 Colossus and kept those Disruptors down. He'd have everything he needs as an army. Everything he needs in his army to nail this down to the ground. Even a DH
it's gonna be great.
Across.
Yeah, and it might be too late for Vindicta to react. Right, he's down in supply. He has no Vikings, but you know the Ghosts are still really good. But here comes Semper. Gonna be able to go ahead. Oh, what's that mule? Oh my God, Widow Mines are actually gonna hit a lot of those Zealots, but the Colossi have been revealed, and Vindicta's like, oh my God, are you kidding me? I thought you were making Disruptors.
If he's anything like me at this point in my game, this is the point in my games where I always, in my head, I go, oh, right, that unit exists. Oh, yeah, I should have prepared for that. Oh, I didn't think about it. And he knows.
My God.
Good game goes down, a GG, and nothing more from Vindicta as Semper grabs game number 1.
In a good fashion, too. So, like, when I was talking about Semper's style, right, did you notice he is very conservative, but he still makes plays, like, you know, throughout the game, but he doesn't overcommit. Like, he takes his bases while he does the aggression. So
I'm trying to think how many times that game did we see Semper across the map doing like a full court press on Vindicta? 1? Maybe in the entire game?
It was very, like I'm talking about. Like, he took third base. The blink, we were kind of talking about it, and we were like, okay, is that for an all-in, or is it to take a third? And he used it to secure a third and be safe. And even though Vindicta didn't like do anything about it, or rather, he didn't do anything in the early game to warrant the blink, at the end of the day, he was safe. And then he went back into the more standard Protoss style, but he did something very different, and he ended up getting Disruptors with like Charge Lot rather than like Blink Stalker Disruptor.
Yeah, that was a really
very
cool build.
Cool.
Very cool build.
Very cool.
That'll be one of those that I think I'm not sure if DreamHack releases their replays. I think they probably will after the tournament, maybe. This will be one of those games that some Protoss players might want to dig into to go like, all right, what's this build order look like? How did he transition to the Disruptors? Because it did pay off.
It did. And Vindicta's a player that like is really good in the late game, but I think he kind of got bamboozled. One of your favorite words.
I do love that word. Yes.
So.
Yeah. The Colossus transition catching him a little by surprise, and just really good defensive play overall from Semper. So, in your opinion, Tempo, what does Vindicta need to do to come back into game number 2? Because clearly, with his reaction, he was not happy with the way he lost game 1.
No, I feel like he needs to punish Semper in the mid game. So, if Semper goes for like a third base like that, there needs to be a push right then and there. So what happened last game was that like he went for the blink, and then remember that the tank got sniped.
Right.
So it kind of shut down the sieging potential of Vindicta, and then it looked really, I don't know, it looked really weak, for a lack of better words. But it's only because of that though. If that tank was still alive, then I think it's a little bit different. But yeah. It ended up being just, yeah. Don't lose your tank, I guess. Yeah, there we go.
This is so strange. Right now, Vindicta is sitting at 5 map losses. Not a single map win in this tournament. This is not the Vindicta I know and love. And I know I got a soft spot in my heart for him. He's on my team, and I love the guy. I've seen him tear through
He's really good.
Bunch of tournaments before, but he is really struggling this week in the DreamHack Summer 2020 Masters.
Yeah, but like I was talking about earlier, it's the group. It's a really tough group.
Like really
this is not an easy group at all.
Can't be discounted. So. Well, let's see if this might be the lucky match for our boy Vindicta. In the top right-hand side, in the red, from Alpha X, looking for his first map win of the tournament. It is Vindicta.
Bam. All right, and in the bottom left-hand corner, it is going to be our blue Protoss player representing Montreal, Canada. It is Semper.
He's from Montreal, huh?
Yes, he is.
All right. I've never been to Canada, Tempo. I've always wanted to go.
Dude.
I've been invited on multiple occasions when I complain about America. All the Canadians in my chat are like, come on up, bro. We got you.
Come on up, bud. Hey,
we'll
bud. Come on up to Canada.
I'm like,
come on.
I could.
Come.
I need to make it.
Oh, have you ever had poutine before?
Oh, so I used to live in, I lived for a while in Davenport, Iowa, which has like this really weird sort of Canadian influence, and they have a couple great places that do poutine there. So I don't know how actually authentic it was. I need to go to like
exactly.
a proper
the
Canadian
authentic. Every
place.
Montrealian, is that a word? But
yes, it is now.
They will say that you've never had poutine before if you've never had it there.
Okay.
So, you've never had poutine before, Creighton. Okay.
That's totally fair. Talking about it makes me super hungry. I'm trying to lose some weight, so talking about poutine is not the best conversation for me
Probably
right now.
not.
Oh,
no.
Jeez, it's everything I want right now. French fries and gravy and cheese.
Oof. And cheese curds. Yep.
Yes, please. Semper going to go ahead for the expand behind the Cyber Core. No surprises here. Economic builds from both players. Looks like a Reaper expand out of Vindicta as well.
Yep.
Are you surprised to see Vindicta not cheesing this game, or does it seem like the right call?
I don't know, because I don't know how like Semper's defense is in the early game.
Okay.
So I actually favor Vindicta's mid to late game, right? Like I feel like if he gets to the late game, he's usually really good. But Semper, the way that he played last game, it makes me kind of reconsider that. I don't know. I'm a little bit more worried now because Semper, he did not switch to Protoss like that long ago.
Couple years?
Not even. Less than a year. So you would assume that he would kind of not be able to hang with Vindicta, but damn, he's putting in that work and it looks really good and scary.
I mean, just making it to DreamHack alone is already super terrifying.
And even yesterday, like we casted him and he was killing it. Yeah.
I'm excited to see it. Man, if he 2-0s Vindicta, that'd be a huge. I think it's fair to call that an upset win. I think Vindicta's probably the
I would say,
favorite player here.
I would call it. Yes, I would, because even like when they play TVT together, I didn't really know who to favor. But usually, when somebody switches faces, you would be like, okay, the guy that switched to Protoss probably is going to be a little bit weaker.
Sure.
But damn, it doesn't seem that way. It almost seems like Semper's been playing Protoss his whole life.
Yeah, he's been doing super well. We got a 1-1-1 out for Vindicta. Semper with the Twilight Council down. Robo right behind it. Is he going to go blink again here? Or is it could be for Glaives this time?
Could be. Well, yeah, but the Robo coming out. I mean, if what did they say? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I would say that Blink would be really nice, and then going right into the Colossi or Disruptor. But no, I think Semper's pretty fine. You know, like the way that he did it last game, perfectly fine.
Yeah, definitely. Allowed some defense. Snipe that tank, as you said. See what comes out of his Robo next, but it's looking real good, really good. Openers for both players here. Both very low aggression games so far. I always like games that start, 4, 5, 6 minutes where both players are like, you know what? Take your time. Do your worst. I've got an amazing build coming, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. I love games like that.
Exactly. Yeah. And even coming out of Vindicta here with the double Widow Mines, he might even go for a Widow Mine drop with the medevac coming out. So I think we're going to see those Widow Mines going to get loaded into that medevac. And it's not going to be with the Marine to supplement it, but it seems like Semper doesn't know about it just yet, but will Vindicta be able to get the damage done? Because I feel like Terran needs to be able to set the pace of the game and then continue.
I agree completely. I talk about this a lot on my channel. It's a lot about not just if your build is good or if your macro is solid, but if you can control the conversation of the game, and if you can be the player who makes the pace for the game and says, no, I'm going to take control. You got to respond to what I'm doing. And that gives you a really solid mental edge. Now, if this drop was spotted, it's not going to do a whole lot, but Semper's already pushing across the map. He's going to blink straight up into the main here. And both players really attempting to wrest control of the map from their opponent.
He's going to go for Stem. I think he's going to, yeah.
I don't think
he will target down that tech lab if he can get it. Does Vindicta know about this, though?
I don't think he's seen it.
Oh, well, he's in position.
Did he snipe?
But that's a lot of stalkers, man.
That's a lot of stalkers. The Raven goes down instantaneously. No armor shredding missile at all. The Marauder's still up, and that's big, but SCVs are going to be pulled off the line here from Vindicta trying to deal with this. A blink away, and they're going to play Ring Around the Rosy with these stalkers for these sentries for a long... Oh my god, I was right the first time. These stalkers going to play Ring Around the Rosy for a long time as the Marines are trying to chase him away.
All right, but can he get Stim before he leaves, though? I think he's going to go for it, man.
He is.
And here we go. This is like a big blow to...
Snipe it.
Vindicta, get one more shot there. He has to get out of there, though, before he loses too much.
Oh.
He tried, but... Wow, that would have been really bad for Vindicta, but it seems like he's going to be okay.
That last second repair saving his bacon. Now he got the Warp Prism in. Oh no, he did get the Warp Prism. The Warp Prism is still alive on the north side.
He got the Raven,
though. Semper picked off the Raven, which is great. Very valuable picks. Look at the resources lost tab. We can see Semper taking not the best trades in the world, but still not bad. The Raven, a high value unit, especially because that means he can force a lot more scans out for observers. And maybe take an economic lead, as we do see Semper third base down, ahead on workers, just like last game.
And you know what the big deal about killing the Raven is? Going for Colossi. He has that Robo-Bay coming up, so you snipe that Raven, and all of a sudden Colossi become a lot more enticing, I would say, right? It's like, okay.
Absolutely.
Charge lot, Forge coming up for upgrades. I think the Raven, or rather the Robo-Bay coming up, is going to allow Semper to go for Colossi. A lot more comfortable, a lot more comfortably.
Yeah. Is he going to get it in time, though? Look at this Vindicta streaming across the map little by little. Now, scouting attack is going to see a big push coming. He should suspect now there's not just 5 units here. And I'm a bit worried right now.
More than 5. A lot more.
Semper has been investing a lot in his infrastructure. We see him trying to upgrade +1, going for thermal lance, going for charge, and getting that first Colossus out. He's got to buy a lot of time here, at least 1 or possibly 2 Colossi to get out to try and defend this.
Yeah, it's going to be a really tough hold, but I think with the corner boost, he should get the Colossi out, but it might not have extended thermal lance when it first comes out, but it's more so about defending the third base, right? So here comes Vindicta, following those Widow Mines. Good force fields are actually, oh man. Any way that you can delay here as Protoss is going to be great, because once there are 2 Colossi, I think this gets shut down.
Absolutely. He's got the observer here as well, able to snipe out both those Widow Mines, not taking very much damage, trading one Widow Mine for 1 Zealot. That's very efficient. He's going to just blink forward here, blunks on top of Vindicta, and Vindicta's going to tuck his tail between his legs and tuck his tail between his legs and get the heck back home. It's been a long day. Sorry.
It has been, Creighton, my man. Oh man, you're a G, man. I gotta I gotta put it out there.
I woke up this morning for the Chinese cast at 7 a.m. and my brain is so warped from StarCraft. I was like, 7 a.m. That's late for me these days because I'm used to get up at like 3 for Korean events and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's been a big day. But you've been casting as much as I have, if not a little bit
Just
more.
about, yeah. I would say so.
We're
It's
both,
been an awesome day of StarCraft for both of us.
like at the end of our. I don't really get tired as much anymore. I get mentally exhausted though, where I start forgetting unit names and like saying the words wrong and stuff.
Same here. Yep.
Man,
wow,
I'm
very aggressive blink from Semper, but almost overstimming. Yo, we are like the same person.
Spooky. We finish each other's
freaky sentences.
There you go. Oh man. Third base up for Vindicta now. He's still a fair few workers behind, about 10, and we see Semper cranking out the workers. He's posturing to take a 4th base here soon. Look how oversaturated this 3rd is.
Yeah, he definitely would like to take that. So, and here we are. Boom. Gonna be able to get that. And Vindicta, you know, he hasn't really done as much as he would like. I feel like every single time that he goes for a push or a drop, Semper's right there ready to go. And it almost seems like Semper kind of flips it on its head and say, no, I'm the one that's actually targeting you now, and you're running away. So, but here we go. Vindicta finally gonna be able to find something here. Does not get the pylon. The recall is going to be there, and it seems like Vindicta does not want to stick around to see what would have actually been recalled.
Yeah, nice little dive though from Vindicta. This is the kind of stuff he needs to do. I feel like a lot of times in these games, especially TVPs, Terran and Protoss players will get sort of blinders on. They'll be like, all right, I got to build up a big bio army, and I got to engage really well with their big gateway army, and it's going to come down to one big fight, and they sort of just, mass all their units in the middle of the map and wait for something big to happen. Whereas these little picks, these little pokes that Vindicta is doing, the Widowmine drop's still active outside that 3rd, by the way, or Liberator rather, still active outside that 3rd.
Yeah.
The drop's going down, the little strike force peppering down the 4th base a little bit. Oh my god, he barely gets away. Those little guerrilla tactics out of our Terran player are really the way to come back from a game where you were a little bit behind. Because look at this, Vindicta's army, now much larger than Semper's, and his income still a little bit ahead.
Indeed. So, a lot better game here for Vindicta than last game. And he already has Ghost coming out. So, I think the only thing that really is unfortunate for him would be the upgrade lead here for Semper. But other than that, I think Vindicta's perfectly fine. His tech advantage is great. He has Ghost coming out. There's not like a huge Colossus count. It's actually going to be going into Disruptors. So there's 3 Colossi and then 2 Disruptors. So I don't mind him going for the Ghost here. We've not seen that many Vikings until now.
Right. Yeah, and Vindicta's a good number of Vikings, I think. Sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
No, yeah, that's fine.
It is a good number of Vikings, though, and that's a good sign of discipline from Vindicta. Lower level players, and especially I think younger players in tournaments for the first time, get very worried about losing in an embarrassing way. If you have 5 Colossus and no Vikings, no Terran player wants to be in that position.
Yeah.
So one mistake you'll see less experienced players make is they'll see 1 Colossus and say, okay, 37 Vikings,
I mean,
6 Star
50
Force.
Vikings right now.
Right, gotta go for it. But a very reasonable amount there. 8 Vikings is about right. He's getting 9, maybe a 10th one coming out soon, but that's about the right number.
I would say
Vikings
so. And the Ghost mix, you have to understand, the Ghost mix is really important here because, like, maybe there weren't going to be that many Colossi, so getting Ghost, yeah, they're still good against Colossi regardless, but they do incredibly better against, like, Disruptors or High Templar, which we have not really seen come out of Semper.
Yeah, interesting. No storms at all in games 1 or this game here. Storm a very common response, not just because of the damage it does, but because it forces your opponent into a bad position. Semper continuing these run-bys in the 3rd, though, he's getting a lot of damage on the DTs that I didn't expect.
No, and it's like reminiscent of game number 1 where it's like, is Vindicta going to fall apart here, or will he be able to get some kind of engagement? It seems like Semper wants to be the aggressor, though. And look at that. He's like, yo, come at me. 3, what is that? 1 Marauder and 3 Marines that stand at the top of the ramp. But now here we...
Yeah. One big difference this game that we didn't see last game was that Vindicta did transition to those Ghosts very early. So if you look at his Ghost count, it's already up to 5, and they all have almost full energy. Well, 3 of them at full energy and 2 at about half energy. And that's going to be a huge difference. EMP is going to pepper down all these units here. EMP is going to make a big difference. 1 Colossi goes out instantaneously, and that's going to allow Vindicta to take a much more aggressive posture here, as Semper has to retreat, has to get away to try and save some of his units here. But he's in a lot of trouble, actually. It's a huge army.
I think so. Yeah, that's a very high Stalker count. And usually, unless like you're really good with your disruptors, Stalkers aren't the best against Bio. So it's all about the disruptors. He needs to zone out here. He can't just fight straight up. But the Stalkers are really good against the Vikings. But there's not any more Colossus except for that one. And it seems like, yeah, with the zoning, I think with the Liberators coming through, this might actually be okay for Vindicta.
Do you know how many units have died in disruptor shot this game, Tempo? Something tells me it's less than 5.
Yeah, it does not seem like they're that effective. Am I right?
Yeah, they definitely bought Semper some time, allowed him to really adjust his army composition a little bit, get some of those charge lots on the ground, which is really nice. The charge lot's going to help to push this back and create some space so the Stalkers and Disruptors can do their thing in the background. And Semper's really going to take this fight. I don't know if this is a good idea, Tempo. What do you think?
Going up the ramp, I don't think is the best idea, but I mean, I think zoning with the Disruptors is perfectly fine. So you can actually do this as Protoss if you have Disruptors like this. Usually, walking up a ramp is usually the worst idea to do, but Disruptors allow you to actually have that kind of liberty and freedom.
Speaking of liberty and freedom, look at what Vindicta's building here. 2 more of them rolling off the assembly line right now. He's got 2 Liberators on the map and should be adding on 2 more for a total of 4 lives. I like the choice to go for Liberators here. Moderately useful against the Colossi, but most importantly, allow you to zone out a whole lot of these DTs. This is like the 17th DT run by that Semper's done. It's great.
I love it, yeah. I love the utilization of the DTs here. 3 Ghosts coming out at a time here for Vindicta. But now the DTs are back at the 3rd base. Or is that the 4th? I can't even remember anymore.
3rd base, yeah. Gonna be
Guess what?
away.
Every scan is not a mule. Yep, every scan is not a mule, so...
Yeah, I feel like that should be... I feel like there's got to be some famous Terran player giving lessons and just shouting into his headset to some Gold League player. Every
or a
scan
temple song.
is not a mule. And it does have a nice... Every scan
Bring to it. Yeah.
It's got a
every
good...
scan is not a... Yeah, temple song coming up.
Is not
2020.
It's not quite a iambic pentameter, but it's still pretty good. It's still iambic because it's on off anyway. Whatever. This is talk for our after game stream, Tempo.
Yes, indeed.
Because we got DT Blink coming out from Semper here, adding on the Archons, even more Colossus coming out. He's building up a real death ball. 4 Colossus, a ton of Disruptors, some Archons now. I really like his position. He's on +3, +2, working on that +3 armor as well.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried though because of, you know, transitioning into Archons means that Vindicta already went for Ghost. So I think that Semper might be playing into Vindicta's hand here. I would have loved more Disruptors in like Colossi because there haven't been like many Vikings coming out. It's a lot of Medivacs instead. So going into Templar is going to kind of favor Vindicta's comp, in my personal opinion. I feel like Archons and Templar are going to be... It doesn't seem like it's the right play, but you know what? Who am I to say anything here as a lowly Zerg player?
Oh, come on, man. You're an experienced caster. That's a fair call to make. The good news is he's only gone for 2 Archons, and I think maybe he read the situation the same way you did. He maybe built them and was like, wait a minute, he's got a bunch of Ghosts out. A bunch of Liberators. These aren't going to do too much here. Huge Disruptor ball going to go down, though. Oh, my God. That's exactly what Semper needed about 10 minutes ago.
Yes. Oh my God, and it doesn't stop, man. Can't stop, won't stop. The SCV's out of that, or rather the, what is it, command center? Not an orbital just yet.
Yeah, I was trying to become a planetary there. He forced the cancel out of it. Great timing attack from Semper there, realizing there was going to be that base down there and stopping it from morphing in. But this drop we saw load up earlier, he's going to unload on the top side of the map. But this is a forest of photon cannons, stalkers, shield batteries. I find it very surprising if Vindicta breaks that, and he's going to find it very surprising as well and nopes the hell out of there.
Nope. And even the DTs, they do have the blink as well, but he's not revealed them. Oh, Semper.
Sneaky boy.
He does not want to reveal the DT blink. I think it's going to be a surprise. The bottom side, here we have Semper pushing at the planetary that is not quite a planetary just yet.
Years away from being a planetary. These disruptor balls are getting better and better as the game goes on. The last one missing, but the splitting from Vindicta is... Oh my God. Just missing a little bit. He ate a few big disruptor balls there, and that's what's allowed Semper to really stay in this game pretty effectively. His worker count very high right now as both players are sort of bumping up against max supply, and we're going to have to see these players maybe look at rebalancing their armies just a little bit. It might be time for Semper to start throwing away some of these units.
Oh, beautiful reaction from Vindicta. That was like so fast. That was like incredibly fast. He literally did it at the same time as the DTs blinked. So double turret gonna be able to at least allow him to not lose too much there. He lost 7 workers, which kind of sucks, but that could have been a lot worse.
It's a cute snipe there on the unit holding this on like a watchtower. I love a good tactical snipe. But we see Semper setting up for a big transition. Look at his main base. He's got 1 Stargate already down, adding on Stargates 2 and 3, and the fleet beacon going down. Now, the age-old question now is, Tempo, Tempests or Carriers?
Tempest. I think it's going to be Tempest. It's for the Liberators for the most part. I like the way that he's playing it here. Yeah. As soon as those Liberators... Oh my god, these DTs though. But like I was going to say, yeah, Tempest usually is the best idea here. Carriers are great, but they take a long time to get online. And Tempest allow you... Oh my gosh. I have like the worst ADD right now.
No, there's so much going on the map. There's DTs in the main phase. There's also a push into the natural of Semper. He's got a lot of DTs on his tail, but he's going to be able to scan and pick most of them off here. A lot of medevacs that are at full energy as well, helping these units in. But luckily, Semper's able to defend there. And wow, these DTs in the main still picking and poking away.
Yep. So, where do we go here? Semper. Show me the Tempest.
Where do we go?
Show me the Tempest, mate. There it comes, 2 at a time. And it makes a lot of sense. If you go carrier, you slow down the game. The pace of the game completely gets slowed down. Yeah, I like the Tempest play. Yep.
Yeah, because once you go carrier, you got to buy the time not only to get the Stargates out, get the fleet beacon out. Hang on just a minute.
Interceptors built as well.
Yeah, interceptors built, and you have to get up to a scary number because like 2 or 3 carriers is not scary at all. Oh,
Not
hang
at
on.
all.
Huge pincer movement from Vindicta here, moving into the south side and the north side. Disruptor Ball's going to try and zone some of those out, but there's nice dodges from Vindicta. Liberators all sieging up here, an aggressive blink under the lid, but I think Vindicta may just have enough here to power through, but his army is so overstimmed, Tempo.
It is, and the Disruptors will zone out that bio, so every time he stims, he can't actually utilize the stim because of the fact that the Disruptors will kind of keep him in check. So every time that he stims, it's like, oh man, I can't do anything. Because if I go in, I might lose everything.
This has been the story of this match so far. Vindicta trying to aggress.
Nice EMP.
That was beautiful. It's gonna slow Semper down a lot. But this has been the story of the game so far. Is Vindicta trying to aggress, and Semper taking a page out of Showtime's book and holding, time and time again. And just maintain that income lead. Look at the income graph here. He's been ahead in income for 10 full minutes now.
Wow!
He's continued run-bys, more DTs into the third base, and of course there is the missile turret here, but he's just being so annoying here. Sacrificing DTs 1 for 1 for SCVs because he's got 5,000 minerals in the bank right now, Tempo. He needs to get his monocle out because he's becoming the Monopoly guy.
He got that Oprah money. He's like, yeah. You get a DT. You get a DT. No, look under your seat. DT's for everybody. And it's like, DT. Jesus Christ. Unbelievable. But yeah, you know what? I think you made a really good point as far as the bank. I didn't really actually look there. But yeah, I think even if this doesn't really go well for, Semper, with the push at the planetary, his bank, the way that he can just mine. Look at the left side of the map and then look at the right side.
Yeah,
like, the natural is not even mining for Vindicta. Like, he floated that. So
that's how you know a Terran player's in a rough spot, when they have to float one of their orbital commands out because they can't afford to make another one.
Nope.
Dang, man. Yeah, if you look at the map, if you bisect that map and split it in half diagonally, Semper has the entire half of his map taken. But here we go, Vindicta going to take a fight, and Vindicta still does have a lot of firepower in his army here. Tempest going down 1 by 1, Tempo, and the Disruptor's going to get caught as well.
Uh-oh. Yeah, not really a good engagement there for Semper. He's going to lose another Disruptor. It's only going to be Stalkers here, and these Stalkers are not really good against Bio, especially with 3-3. So I feel like Vindicta's opportunity right now, this could be it, man. He's moving in. Look at the Liberator count! Holy crap! He's going to be able to just siege up here. And Vindicta, wow! After kind of a really game of struggling, I think he's actually going to be able to do something here.
Yeah, a really good initial fight, of course, for Vindicta. But look at how low his ground army is right now. His Liberator count falling just a little bit. A lot of his supply is in his Remax right now as he's cranking out some more Marauders and Marines. And of course, Semper has that crazy bank still. So he can warp in as many Stalkers as he wants. Stalkers can blink forward underneath the Liberators. He's got Stalkers on the north side as well. And I think the second half of this fight is going to go in favor of Semper, even if Vindicta has really good firepower. Look at Vindicta landing those Vikings, desperate for more DPS.
Yes, and it's more so about the bank for Semper here.
Oh
like
God.
The unit comp, wow. The unit comp for Semper wasn't the greatest, but now we see that the fact that he has so much in the bank, I feel like Semper should be okay. But in any other situation, I feel like Semper would have been kind of like, Oh,
100%.
Townsy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it looked terrifying now.
I'm gonna give you a little bit of drop a little bit of knowledge. Not even knowledge, but
hit me, Tempo.
Look at the supply. Look at the supply, right? It's mainly medevacs, okay?
10 of them.
10 medevacs. That's so much supply in medevacs, but the ground army is really not that scary at all.
Yeah, I love seeing this in the end game for Terran players, and you're like, oh my god, he's got 100 supply. He has 14 Marines on the map right now. Like that's
right, exactly.
It's not that much, and it does show a bit of unbalancing from Vindicta. He's trying to crank out Liberators 4 at a time, but you know, if there's nothing on the ground here, 1 or 2 disruptor shots could turn the tide of battle instantaneously. So I like what Vindicta's doing here, setting up Liberators, sieging them up over some of the bases, trying to pick down the probe count maybe a little bit for Semper, just trying to draw things even. I mean, Vindicta's even on workers now for the first time in a long time.
Very long time, but the DT count does worry me. Oh my gosh, yeah, these Liberators are gonna put in some work, but look at that. DT's Fear Dragon is sitting, you know, in his chair right now, just rubbing his hands together like this is like literally Fear Dragon's heaven. You know, like when if we all die, I don't know if you all believe in heaven, but like, you know, this is it. If you're a Fear Dragon, this is what heaven would be like.
He's got his white cat in his lap, stroking it, going, yeah.
Oh, stroking it, like Dr. Claw from Inspector Gadget. He's literally just like.
I was thinking Ernest Blofeld, but they're the same character, just in different franchises. Yeah. Excellent reference, Dr. Claw. Man, it's been a long time, Tempo, since somebody's dropped a Dr. Claw reference on me.
I mean, it's the first time I've dropped a Dr. Claw reference ever in my life.
Do you do acapella music at all, Tempo? You into that?
Not like the way that you would think so, but I do it in the shower, you know, just kind of.
One of my favorite acapella mashups is a Inspector Gadget that's mashed up with. I'll send it to you afterwards. It's dope. Trust me.
Do you know Smooth McGroove?
I love Smooth McGroove.
Awesome.
One of my favorites. One of my buddies does a very similar thing, acapella VGM, and he does these like epic. Anyway, we gotta talk about the game Tempo. People are gonna. People are leaving in droves. They're like, this is not like Tempo and Creighton Music Hour. Big engagement here. Some good EMPs on most of the ground army here for Semper, but the disruptor shots are still going to be active, and he's picked off 17 SCVs behind this. Some of them transferring, but these DTs clearing out the 12 o'clock base right now. Man, Vindicta just can't afford to slip up like that. He can't afford it.
He can't. No, he actually does not have the. Oh, he just can't. Oh man, here come the DTs. They do have Blink as well, so the Liberator count's gonna get pretty high, but I don't know, man. I feel like Vindicta is doing like the right things, but Semper absolutely dominating because he continues to expand over and over again.
I feel like
he's just everywhere.
Man, that miracle repair there, fixing one of those units, one of those advanced at the inside base, going to go down as well. Yeah, I think the best way I could describe it, Tempo, would be that Semper is playing like a Terran player. He's like, he's not dropping, but he's doing, or like a,
I wonder why.
He's like doing Zergling run-bys everywhere. He's got drops all over the map. He's never in the same place at the same time. Vindicta going for what could be the final push of the game here. Both players on +3/+3. If these Liberators can siege up in a good position, they might have a chance, but there is a lot on the ground right now for Semper as well.
DTs are going to get revealed by the EMP, and it seems like Vindicta is going to just try to barrel them. I don't know, maybe try to just get some kind of any kind of aggression that he can, but Semper is still doing it on the other side of the map, so I'm a little bit worried here for Semper, but here come the disruptor shots. Oh, dodge it. Oh my god, Semper gonna be able to come on through. The main supply is only in medevacs, and I feel like Semper has done it. He has a lot of Immortals on the ground. The Marines are putting in work, actually, so never mind, guys. Nice flank from the north-hand side. It seems like Semper is going to be able to do this. He's blinking on right on top of those medevacs, and he's going to get... Oh, my God! GG!